Hi, in this video we're going to look at how we can take two-dimensional shapes like these and turn them into three-dimensional forms. Now the secret to this is being able to draw a crate. So if you think about this box around this kind of controls this shape, and we can mark out and measure out from our previous videos, you know, where the positions of these points are. Now, what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to take this 2D form and turn it into a 2D shape and turn it into a 3D form. Now, there's lots of ways to do this. Probably the easiest is if I just draw it out in front of you. So if I think about, you know, this vertical line, and I have this kind of arrow going up like that. Now, this is a bit longer than I usually would do. Now, this angle here is about 30 degrees is kind of what I'm looking for in this. Now, if I think about, you know, the same as my proportions before, I can think about the size of my box. So if that's that size, then this one has to be about that size. So that needs to go up a little bit more, like that. Then the secret to this is parallel. So if I think about this line here, I need to draw a line parallel to it. Now, I'm going to draw that line parallel to it. Now, I can see that I'm probably going to have trouble here because I'm probably going to run out of page, but that's okay. I can live with that. So I'm going to take this one, and again, it's about there, and I'm going to draw a line parallel this time to this one. So let's have a little look. So I've got a parallel line to that, and I'm going to draw another parallel line to that. Then I need another parallel line, so I suppose to that, and I need another parallel line to that, and another parallel line to that. So I have my box. Now I'm going to try it again with this one. Now this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with these three parallel lines. So if I think about, you know, this is square, so if I have three parallel lines like that, and then I draw another three parallel lines like that, and then a final set of three parallel lines like that. Now this one is a slightly different shape. It's kind of a rectangle rather than a square. So if I think again, if I think about my line at the front, and if I look, I can see one. So it's about twice as long as it is high. So if I take that as my height, I want to put that length in, and I want it to be twice as long. So once, twice. So about there. Yeah. So I've got my parallel line, and I'm going to start this time. Now I can see that this one is probably going to run into that. Now you can see what I've done there. That line isn't parallel to that. It sits out a little bit like that. So I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to fix that parallel line. Now I'm doing this in pen, so it's a bit easier to see on the screen. But you know, if you want to construct it in pencil, then you can go back in when you're more confident with the pen. So I don't know how far this goes back, so I'm going to make this one quite thin so it doesn't hit into this box here. So I'm going to create a little line like that, and again parallel to this, a line going up, parallel to this, a line going across, parallel to this line, and then parallel to that line. So I've got my three crates that I'm going to fit these shapes into. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with transferring the sizes of these across. So I'm going to quickly sketch in just so that size or that shape there I want to put in either this or this one. So if I think about this, it's a bit lower than halfway. So if I say that's halfway, so a bit lower than halfway, and that is more or less halfway. So I've got those 2 points plotted, and I can then put that in like that. So I've got that shape there. I've taken it and I've moved it across onto there. So what I'm going to do is, just so you can see that a little bit easier, I'm going to colour that in with my red pencil as well. Like that. So I've taken that shape and I've transferred it to the size of that, the side of that crate. From there, I need parallel. So again, you know, you're going to get bored of me saying the same word over and over again. But this time, parallel to this line, I've got a line. And then I've got, I'm going to move my page down a bit, I've got a parallel line running across there, like that. So I've got this, and I need to have it here. So again, you know what the word's going to be. So I want to have a line that's parallel to that. So I've got that. So I've got my first shape drawn in. Now I have to think, which way do I want this one to sit? Now in this one, I transferred this across to here. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to find another pencil. Let's find a different color this time. And I'm going to take this shape. And I'm going to transfer it this time onto this side of the crate. So I can see that's about halfway and that's about halfway. So I'm going to mark it on there about halfway and about halfway. So I'm going to sketch a line down and I'm going to sketch a line across. And I've got that shape there. I've taken the points and I've sketched it across onto there. Now I'm going to have to stop there because I've got someone at my door. Hello, I'm back. So I've taken this shape this time and I have that there. So again, you know what's coming next. The key to this is going to be parallel, isn't it? So I'm going to quickly render that in so you can see where that shape's come from. And I'm going to take these lines across and I'm going to take them across parallel. So I've got parallel, parallel, and parallel. Now, if I think about this surface, I need to have one going back here parallel too. So I'm going to take that one and I'm going to pop that in there, and that one goes vertically but parallel to there. So I've now got that shape. Yeah. Now this one I can only put on this side, so I can only really do this one on there if you think about this, because it's not wide enough to do it the other way. So if I wanted to draw this the other way, sitting the other way, I would have had to have my crate going back this way. So I'm going to plot this out. Now if I look, that's about halfway, or just past halfway, so that's about there. Then I've got a gap. Let's have a little look. Is it the same? No, it's a little bit less. So that's a little bit longer on there. This is about, that's about halfway, isn't it? So if I think about halfway on there. And this one, that's about halfway between there and there. It's just to the right. So halfway between there and there, just to the right, is about there. Now that's probably a little bit narrow, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that back just a little bit to there. So I've planned this out in that box. Now if I think about a line going through there, I can also see that this is just below that point. So I'm going to start by putting this line at an angle. So again, I'm going to practice a couple of times just to make sure I know where my line's going to go, and then I'm going to draw that in like that. Alright, so I know that this point here is just below, about a third of the way, about there. So I know it goes from here to here, so I can draw that in. It goes along to there, and then it goes down. This one goes down to that line too. Again, like that. Now if I look at that, I can see straight away what's wrong with that. This, is way too long in mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that back just a little bit to there. Like that. That's better proportions. Right, so I've got that shape at that side. And you know what's coming next? I have to draw across the way. So again, parallel to this bottom edge, that running across. Again, parallel to that, practice a couple of times, running across. Like that. So then I've got this point. I know it goes from here to there, there to there. So I can practice that. I know it then goes along to here, down into here. So if I did want to draw through it, I could draw it, that's in there somewhere like that. And I know this is going to go down till it meets this line that goes across. So I'm going to start by putting that line across. And then I'm going to bring that down. And I can see that that should be in here somewhere. Should be in there. and that's my shape for that one. So it's the same process no matter what we're drawing like this. It's about creating the crate that is the right size, plotting out our object on one of the sides of the crate, and then taking it across following the parallel lines. Give that a little go, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.